So here's a perfect example of the whole situation. I filmed for 40 minutes. No audio. Completely lost it. So what did I do? I engaged with my special interest. And now I feel better. If you don't know, you just don't know, okay? So grab a tea, all right? A beverage of some kind, honestly, at this point. And let's sit down and talk about the really stupid thing that I did that involves what I thought was a special interest and trying to be more productive. Okay, so buckle up. Here we go. So first of all, what is an autistic special interest? Well, it's an intense area of focus. It's often in my experience, it's often kind of demonized as this thing that just makes you more obviously autistic. It's like this thing you're a little bit extra because you love to talk about this particular thing. The other half of that experience is it's often this passionate, intense area of focus, like I said, that is fulfilling in a way that not much else in life is, if anything, in fact. I have a special interest, obviously, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, and it was something that I've had for most of my life, but had to squish down because I had discovered that it was a thing that kind of highlighted my differences, highlighted the fact that I wasn't exactly like everybody else. So I have just been squishing down this particular thing, not always doing a great job, because there were friends that have noticed and that have helped me bring this back up to the sort of forefront, if you will. Before we even, hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a late diagnosed autistic. I was diagnosed at 35. I'm 38 now. This has been a journey. There's lots of videos on this channel if you want to get a little bit caught up on the whole situation, including my autism assessment video. I'll link that somewhere for you if you'd like to check it out. I make mermaid tails for a living. What do I mean? Mermaid tails. What is this? Okay, so this is what I mean. I make functional, swimmable mermaid tail art for a living. This is what I do. Everything you see here is 100% designed by me without the use of AI. The sewing, all of it's done by me. All of it's done by me, short of actually printing the design onto the fabric and milling the fabric, okay? Everything else is done by me. The play button you see on the wall is for my original channel, Courtney Mermaid, and that was where this all originated, okay? So that just kind of gives you an idea. Now this journey started back, well, it started in 2006, but the YouTube side of it started in 2011. I'm so paranoid. So the video is going to jump for a sec. I need to check to make sure I've got audio. 1 second. And I do. Let's continue on. So in 2011, I'd posted this video of me painting mermaid scales onto a mermaid tail on my YouTube channel. It kind of popped off a little bit. People liked it. People were watching. They were like, oh, this is pretty good. I'm getting some good comments. I posted another video of some more painting. That did well. I had some swimming footage that I'd shared. I had my first kind of video really pop off in the like 150 to 200K views. And meanwhile, I had started to connect these dots where mermaiding, popularity, people are liking me, people are appreciating what I'm doing. And of course, as an autistic person who didn't know they were autistic at the time, being liked is something that I am seeking because there's safety in that. I also feel like you guys are sitting kind of low. Could you sit up a little bit, please? Just a little bit? Thank you. Just so I don't have to keep hunching, okay? Okay. And being liked is this kind of a safety net because if you're liked, then you're not like shunned from the herd, as it were. And so I'm starting to associate, right? It's like, you know, you give the dog a cookie and the dog's gonna keep doing the behavior kind of a thing, right? So, and as it kind of goes and my popularity increases. At the time I was working in animation, and I was an artist in animation, specializing in prop and character design with a splash of BG work periodically, mostly as a revisionist if there was stuff kicking around. I really enjoyed that kind of work. And I've always had to work really hard to show what I'm capable of, and it's never really come super easy, as with most things in my life. So, boy, that sounded very one kind of a way, but I hope you're taking that. Just everything's always been a little bit of a struggle. You know, you're here, you're sitting, you're probably nodding your head saying, yes, I can relate to that right now. I hope so anyways. Well, not I hope so, but you know what I mean. As my career is kind of progressing, I'm making some leaps and bounds. I'm a lead on a project. I've got to work on a feature film. Like, I'm having a lot of fun. Studio life was hard because lights and glare and noise and perfumes and people and interactions, and that was kind of hard. But overall, it is mostly okay. And as that's kind of going, the mermaiding stuff's kind of going alongside of it, and I'm really sticking to it because it was giving me that sense of like, people are seeing me. They're not really seeing me. They're seeing what I'm making and what I'm doing and how I look, but they're not seeing me per se. And it was starting to give me like body dysmorphia and anxiety and just things that I was kind of like pushing these things down, because the actual like art form that is swimming in a mermaid tail can be a very healing thing, and it can be for a lot of people who don't decide to turn it into a career, because a lot of the famous mermaids who do this are like models basically, and you start comparing yourself and you start like, well, oh, my tail's not nice enough, well, my body, I don't have the right physique, I'm a lot taller, and I, wasn't paper thin, and I, all of these things, and I started to like, I needed to be more feminine, and I needed to, I mean, look at me, that's not my go-to setting, isn't a crap ton of makeup and big seashell boobs and whatever, like, and the long hair. It wasn't, but I had that look at the time, like I'd grown out my hair was down to my butt, and all of these things. And anyways, I was starting to have some frustrations in my animation career, and I was thinking like, okay, well, I've got people who want to buy my products, my mermaid tails, my designs, my shop. I had started an online apparel shop, and I was like, okay, well, this will be the thing. I swear this comes back to special interests. You just have to bear with me. And I decided, well, I could just do this. Like, the income was starting to come in from the YouTube channel and people wanting to buy mermaid tails. And I was like, I think I could do this. So I had saved up money, and I was like, great. So my last contract came and went. They said, hey, we'd like to keep you on. Are you interested in this or that or whatever? I had a couple of art director offers and a few things. And I was like, no, I want to not. I'd like to be in charge of my own kind of destiny at this point. Thank you very much. And I just was ready to do my own thing. I also wanted to set my own schedule because I was getting very tired of the like 4-hour freaking daily commute. It wasn't really 4 hours. It was like almost 3 hours that I was spending on the road every day to and from work and whatnot. And it was a lot. There were signs that what I was actually experiencing was burnout, and what I actually needed was a break. Not to quit, a break, mind you. Heaven help me. But I quit, and I went to start up my own business, and then everything in my life started to, this was the beginning of the end, okay? My bird, the love of my life, my bird, Tinkerbell, if you've been around on that channel, you would have seen her once upon a time. She was this beautiful green little parrotlet. And she was terminally ill, and I had to watch her just slowly fade over the next kind of 7 months. And then my dog had a dental-related emergency. He had an infection in his mouth. Not sure how that happened. And between the two of them, they ate up almost all of the money that I had saved to fund my time off, because you just don't expect this kind of thing. And birds don't get pet insurance, at least not where I live. Companion birds do not qualify for pet insurance, and dental stuff is not covered by pet insurance, so let's not even go there. So I had to pay for this all out of pocket, and thank God that I had that money, because I don't know what I would have done otherwise. Anyway, so now it's all kind of crumbling, and I'm just burning out further and further and further. And then we fast forward a little ways to me getting my autism diagnosis. And by this point, we have entered burnout. I'm not really aware of it, but I'm aware that there's something wrong. When we moved into this place is when it had all started. So it was 2019 was when I've been in burnout for longer, but in 2019, it was starting to physically manifest. I was dizzy all the time, and I couldn't explain it. I'm like, why am I woozy all the time? And I've had every test under the sun. You trust me on this one. I don't need people in my comment section trying to diagnose me. We know it's burnout because I've been cleared for everything scary, okay? Knock on some wood. Then, we're like, okay, let's autism diagnosis. We're going to do this. And as I'm learning and I'm going through, and then I get my diagnosis, I somewhere along the line convinced myself that mermaids were my special interest. I knew in my core that was not correct. I'm gonna just check to make sure, because if I have to do this again, I'm gonna die. Okay, we still have audio. We still have audio. Let's continue on. So I know in my core that this is not the truth, but I have convinced myself, because my belief, and bless my lifelong friend who I've known since grade 4, we had a visit like I've just come to this understanding, this realization, like recently, like on Sunday, we were talking and I had started to like connect the dots. In an effort to try to push through burnout, this is where you should be taking notes, so bust out some paper or something. I decided that, and I wasn't really aware that this is what I did until now, I decided that mermaids were my special interest, because if they're my special interest, then that should be the thing that I want to engage with the most, which means I should want to get back to work. I should, and I have to, and I will, and I'll do. Well, that didn't work. And I started to really resent the whole thing even more than I already was, because, well, you're my special interest. Like, well, then I'm not autistic. Well, oh, this is all fake. Like, what is this? And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. And now I have burnt myself out so much on my business and my work. And I have so much, I feel disgusted. Like, this isn't good. This is what I do for a living. There is no plan B. There is only plan A. I mean, this is plan B. We're trying something here, but I've only accumulated $30 via my YouTube channel thus far, so we're not getting paid yet, but I'm trying, okay? That is what I'm doing, and I have now ruined it. I have, like, crushed it. I've ground it, English words, into dust. I have no want to do this now. I think now that I realize that it's not my special interest, I think I'm going to be able to separate the enjoyment of something. So autistic people can also have interests that aren't their special interests, okay? And I mean, I don't speak on behalf of all autistics. Obviously, in my experience, I have things that I am interested in that are not all-encompassing and healing in the way that, okay, we're going to reveal it. Are you ready? Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Who saw that coming? Like, several people saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. I did, but I didn't. Dinosaurs. And dinosaurs does for me, and I mean, like, there are specifics. I play a lot of dinosaur games. I love to draw dinosaurs. I love to engage with it in a lot of different ways, but generally speaking, I'll be playing a dinosaur game. I like to make playlists for the characters. Behind me, I introduced you guys to Harley, so that's Harley. And, like, Harley is, like, I want to say hornedly, I don't know, saved my life here. I had this realization, right? A friend of mine had gifted me a book. And it was a book about D&D, but with dinosaurs. Written by paleontologists, with cited references and resources. And I still hadn't quite put things together. But I was going to bed with this book every night. I was falling asleep, and, like, it was a teddy bear with this book, okay? I would read a page and it was lighting something up and I couldn't really figure it out. And all of a sudden I'm craving more dinosaur books and more dinosaur content. And I'm starting to just engage with these things in a different way. Path of Titans found me via TikTok when my grandma passed away. Right around after she passed away, I started playing this game. And I would play for 13 or 14 hours a day. Okay? That was all that I could bring myself to do. It was the only thing that was just keeping me from completely crumbling into nothingness. If you don't know, my grandma and I were really close. And I feel the lack of her presence every day. And I hate it. But dinosaurs was holding me together, and I still hadn't put it together. I thought I like dinosaurs. I've always wanted to pretend, like, I used to pretend to be a dinosaur. I'm completely clueless. I'm like Rachel in Friends. Like, you knew when you didn't tell me? Like, what do you mean? Like, we thought you knew. And, like, all my friends apparently knew this. My friend who I've known from grade 4 to now, she's like, yeah, you didn't know? Like, I knew dinosaur toys were everywhere in your dinosaur cards, and you were always pretending to be a velociraptor and da-da-da. And, like, even the other night, another friend of mine, dear friend of mine, picked up on it. We were sitting on the couch, and she had asked me if I'd seen the new Jurassic World Rebirth movie and I was like, well, of course I've seen it. Of course I've seen it. I went right away to go see it. And I mean, did I love it? No. Did I still enjoy it because dinosaurs? Absolutely. And there was a lot about it that I liked, and there were a few things that I just didn't like. As a dinosaur fan, I'm not going to go off. Look at me. I'm going to restrain myself. But there's Spinos in it, and I had just gotten a new National Geographic with a whole spread on Spinosaurus, and I was ready, and I was locked and loaded, and I didn't realize, and I just was like, I just went off. And as she's sitting there, as I am info dumping and I'm watching her face, because this is what we have to do, I'm constantly like, what's your face doing? And I kind of realize, and I kind of stop, and she's got this kind of like coy, like, I think she realized. And I usually try to keep this tucked away, okay? Like I don't whip this out because people don't want to hear about it, except for a few friends of mine, evidently. And there's this pause between us, right? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to decipher this face, right? I'm like, what have I done? I've done a bad thing. This was a really bad thing. I shouldn't have done this. And she's like, Courtney. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you have any books with like dinosaur pictures that you could show me? And I swear she knew exactly what she was doing. And I'm like gripping my chair. I'm just like, run. Like, not even a question. I run to the bedroom bookshelf and I grab all my books and my manga and my, and everything off the shelf, and I whip it out and I throw it on not gently throw it. I take good care of my books, and I spread it all out on our big ottoman. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And for like the next 40 minutes, she's just going through all of this with me. She's asking me questions. We're talking about Utahraptor. We're talking about Deinonychus. We're talking about Velociraptor. We're talking about the differences between the species. We're talking about dinosaurs with feathers and the measurements of the sickle claws and how much the different versions of this dinosaur would have weighed, and then what they thought in Jurassic Park, and like how that relates to now. And like, oh my God, I was in Disneyland. Like, it was the best 40 minutes of my life thus far, okay? I was having so much fun. And she's like, so this is your special interest, yeah? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And it was just this wonderful moment where she just like gave me the space. Now it ebbed and it flowed, right? And I am out of, it's a bit of a trauma response. I am very willing to like steer the conversation away from my special interest, even though when we're doing that, I'm still thinking like, I really want to keep talking about this. Can we keep talking about this? I really just want to keep talking about this. Let's just can we go? I got more to say. I want to tell you this really interesting fact that you really need to know, because it might save your life one day. You never know. But I'm also okay with like, I'm like, okay, let's give the other people time to speak, and I don't get to do this very often. My husband's been holding space for me a lot recently and just letting me, he's so good about this, but he just lets me go the fuck off on dinosaurs. It's stuff that I've already told him 15 different ways from Sunday, but he is just like, wow, that's really interesting. Oh, this dinosaur is actually from Canada. You've already told me that, but he doesn't say that. He just lets me go. I have another friend who doesn't unfortunately live close by to me, but they're wonderful. They're the same friend who got me the book. And they're like, no, anytime you need to just info dump, just send me a voice note. I need a Kleenex. Like, this is so intense, dudes. The way that this differs from mermaiding is in such a way that like mermaiding is a thing that I enjoy in a different way. Dinosaurs. So when I had realized that I had filmed for 40 minutes with no audio, which was amazing, by the way, make sure your microphone receiver is plugged all the way into your phone. Good God. I was panicked. I'm like, what do I do? And typically I will just sit and stew, right? And I will just let it build. I'll get angry, or I'll go and try and do anything else. Today I knew what exactly would do the trick. So I turned around, I busted out that Royal Tyrrell Museum tour video in 4 frickin' K with no dialogue, and it's gorgeous. Oh my God, it was from a year ago. And this person goes through and just like, thank you, just goes through and just films like all of the things. And I'm just sitting there and I can literally feel myself chilling out in the best possible way. And I am just relaxing and I'm starting to think, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. I think I can try again. Like, I have a really hard time like labeling or naming the feeling that I'm having, or even understanding what the feeling is that I'm having. Like, am I angry? Am I upset? Like, am I sad? Am I hurt? Am I hungry? Like, I don't freaking know what's going on. The meat suit is very confusing. But the feeling I get when I engage in my dino land, if you will, is really a fulfillment that I don't feel I get really from anything else. Not in that capacity anyways. So not in the way that it soothes me in a way that mermaiding does not. And mermaiding never has. Now, that's not to say that I don't love mermaids and that I don't really enjoy and swim and do the thing, but like when I was a child and I was at the pool with my mom and we were, pretending to be mermaids, it wasn't actually mermaids. We were dolphins and whales. Always dolphins and whales. I actually had a real fascination with belugas at the time. So that's what we were doing. Mermaiding has always been something that I've really been passionate about and really liked. I love the mythology. I loved the mermaids in Hook. I loved Splash, and I loved The Little Mermaid. And I do have a lot of collectibles from my childhood that I really enjoyed from that time, but it wasn't in the same, it doesn't feel the same to me. When I am engaging with my mermaid interest, it doesn't feel the same as when I am engaging with dinosaurs. I feel like it's like if there were two versions of yourself, we'll go this way, if there are two versions of yourself, and there's like the version of me that I have to be for the rest of the world and the version of me that I am at my truest core, it does this. Like it brings these things into focus. And I can feel as if my existence isn't just a facade of daily like struggles and trying to make sure that the people know that I'm now, is it a little bit, I'm finding it a little bit not problematic to manage really, but now that I'm aware of it again, it has come full circle. I am noticing that I am very quick to info dump. I had an intake with a dietitian. It wasn't like an intake, but it was like the first part of this. I have a lot of food related problems and I'm having a really hard time feeding myself lately. So, which is why I look a little bit thinner than I have previously. Everything's fine. We're all good. But I am looking for some help in terms of getting nutrition, making sure I'm eating, and also making it so it's not difficult to do because I can cook. I don't enjoy cooking. So that kind of thing. I don't even know how I busted it into the conversation. I'm not sure how. And she was very gentle about steering me back to reality. And this woman was fantastic. I don't know, like, she had obviously some knowledge of autism when I was talking about like the different foods and stuff. But you know what her suggestion was to get me to drink more water? Oh, and it comes right back to my special interest. She's like, well, couldn't you put like a dinosaur sticker on your water bottle? I put Harley drinking water on my water bottle. And Harley at the minute is my comfort. Not at the minute. She's been my comfort character for the last 3 years. She just soothes me and makes me feel like, I don't know, protected and like I've got a safe space. Anyways, so I put Harley on here, Harley drinking water. So now when I look at this and I'm like, oh, Harley's drinking water, I should drink some water too. And it's been working. Okay. So I'm thrilled about that. But this is, I wish that I had noticed what I was doing. I wish I had noticed sooner what I was doing because now I worry that it's a bit too late, that I just have too much resentment for how mermaiding has made me feel especially over the last 5 years. Over the last 5 years, I've changed so much, but it's not that I've changed. I feel like I'm coming back to myself. And I wonder if I had like, would I have gotten so far into burnout if I had had dinosaurs sooner? Like if I had had that to balance me and keep me soothed and keep me interested in life, and just would I have crashed and burned as hard as I have? And so I do think about that a lot, and it makes me kind of scared, and I worry that I might not find mermaiding enjoyable again in that way. And I am going to work to heal that because I do love the work that I create, like the tail that I showed you here. This was the last design that my grandma saw before she passed. And but I worked so hard on this, all of the details. There are many, many, many hours that I've put into this, and I have a lot of passion still and a lot of love for what I have created. I'm just hoping I can pull it back into focus. So I would love to hear from you guys, though, you know, in the comment section down below. It feels weird saying this all a second time, but you've only heard it the one time. But if you feel comfortable to do so, I would be truly honored to hear about your special interests. Give me some facts. Tell me what it is. How do you like to best engage with your special interest? Are there people in your life you can share it with? Just whatever you've got, if you feel safe to do so, always. I'm also totally cool. You guys are happy to just lurk. It's totally fine. But it does really fill my cup too when I read your guys' comments and see that, you know, just what we all share is so beautiful. And I wouldn't trade it. Honestly, how I feel about dinosaurs is the coolest thing. It's like a fresh breeze, like a soft, cool breeze on a warm summer night. It's like being wrapped in a fluffy, but not the bad fluffy, do you know, like the good fluffy warm towel out of the dryer after you've been out in a torrential downpour in the freezing rain for hours and hours. It's like fresh bedding after you've had a shower. Like, I don't know how, like, I'm trying to think of other things that might, but it's so much more intense than that. And I would love to just hear from you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to God we had audio for this last segment. Please, oh please, oh please. If you guys would like to hang out with me while I'm engaging with my special interest, I do stream on Twitch. So that's Courtney literally on Twitch. There's going to be a link down there somewhere. And definitely check it out. I mostly stream dinosaur related content over there. Sometimes we do a little Phasmo, a little Repo, and some other things, but it's mostly dinosaurs. And otherwise, thank you so much for being on this journey with me, for giving me a space to talk about dinosaurs and to share a little bit of this with you. And maybe I'll do a little bit more of that. I might, in the post section of my channel, I might do a little bit more of that. I'm kind of sad going back. There were so many other things that I talked about that I didn't share this round. But hopefully you enjoyed the video nonetheless, and I look forward to catching you guys all again in the next one. Bye for now.